Hey Exotical darlings, this is Coco Exotical. Welcome back to the Big Back Ballads. Today we're going to talk about how they'll do anything but put down the fork and why fit women trigger insecure ones. So let's get into it. Let's talk about something that nobody wants to say out loud but everyone is thinking. You know that moment when you're eating your grilled chicken and vegetables, minding your own business, and all of a sudden someone feels the need to announce to the entire table, "Oh God, you're eating that again? You're always eating something boring. You need to live a little bit. One piece of pizza isn't going to hurt you. One slice of cake isn't going to hurt you. Dang." And you're sitting there thinking, here I was minding my own business. When did I ask for your opinion? Did I comment on your sixth piece of pizza or your third helping of dessert? No. So how did we get here? Why are we talking about this right now? So here's the truth. When you take care of yourself, when you set boundaries, when you have goals and discipline, you become a walking mirror for everyone else who isn't doing these things, right? Mirrors make people face themselves, and people would rather break the mirror than look at their own reflection. Think about it. When you're being consistent with your workouts, meal prepping every Sunday, meeting your goals, and glowing with confidence, you're not just living your life, you're providing evidence that change is possible, that discipline works, that excuses are simply excuses, right? So for someone who's been telling themselves for years that they don't have time to work out, that genetics are the reason that they can't lose weight, and that healthy food is too expensive, your existence is a threat to their entire narrative, right? You were minding your own business. You never said a word to them. You didn't judge them. You just existed in your own healthy, disciplined lifestyle, right? And that was enough to make them uncomfortable. So let's break down the psychology behind this, because understanding why people do this is the first step to not letting it affect you, right? So the first reason people do this is because of projection and cognitive dissonance, right? So when someone sees you thriving with habits that they wish that they had, it creates what's called cognitive dissonance. Their brain is literally uncomfortable because your actions don't match their beliefs about what's possible or realistic. They can't reconcile the fact that you're able to do something seemingly effortlessly that they've been failing at for years, right? And instead of dealing with that discomfort by changing their own behavior, they try to change your behavior to match their belief system. If they can convince you to just eat the pizza, or to just have the cake, or to just stop being so strict, or to just live a little, then they don't have to confront their own bad choices and their own lack of discipline, right? If they can convince you to be undisciplined as well, then they can say, "See, she's not better than me. She doesn't have as much willpower as she thinks she does. She's unable to resist the cake just like me," right? So the second reason that people are so concerned about what you're eating and not eating is because they're envious. So they'll disguise that envy as concern for your well-being. So this one's a big one, right? How many times have you heard, "Are you sure you're eating enough? You need to eat. I'm worried about you." Or "You're getting too skinny," when you're literally at a healthy weight. Or "You're so obsessed with the gym," when you only work out 3 or 4 times a week. Or "You need to enjoy life more. Life is meant for living," because apparently you can't be healthy and enjoy yourself at the same time, right? Apparently eating food is the only way to enjoy yourself in life. Like, get out of here, right? So this is simply envy disguised as concern, right? They're not actually worried about your health or your happiness, because if they were, then they'd be cheering you on. But what they're really saying is, your discipline makes me uncomfortable because I don't have it. So please stop making me feel bad about myself by focusing on yourself and making healthy choices in life. You need to start making unhealthy choices in life, just like I've been doing all my life, right? So the third reason that people are so unbothered is because of the misery loves company effect, right? So people who are unhappy with their own bodies, their health, their lifestyle, can't stand to see other people succeeding while they're failing, right? It's easier to try to pull you down than to try to pull themselves up. They want you to join them in their unhealthy habits because it validates their bad choices. It makes them feel less alone in their struggles, and it eliminates the comparison that makes them feel inadequate, right? If you're all sitting on the couch overeating greasy fast food and sugary desserts every day, feeling miserable and getting more and more overweight, then you all look alike and you have the same bad habits, so you don't have to feel bad about yourself, right? But when you're working out, eating healthy, then they feel like you're judging them for their bad choices, right? So the fourth reason that people are so bothered is because of the power and control dynamics, right? So some people are threatened by your independence and your autonomy. So when you set boundaries around food, when you say no to things that don't align with your goals, when you put yourself first, you're demonstrating a level of self-respect and self-control that they themselves don't have. Self-respect and self-control are some of the characteristics of powerful people, and people are intimidated by powerful people. Also, people who lack control in their own lives love to try to control other people, right? So let me paint you some scenarios that I know you've experienced at some point in your life. The first example is the family food police, right? So the holidays are the worst for this, okay? So maybe you're at Thanksgiving dinner, maybe you got a little turkey, some vegetables, and a reasonable portion of everything else, right? You're not depriving yourself, but you're making choices that align with your goals. All of a sudden, here comes Auntie Keisha talking about, oh, girl, that's all you eating? You too damn skinny. You a grown woman. You need to eat some food. Here, let me give you some more of that mac and cheese and some more of that stuffing. It's Thanksgiving. Just enjoy yourself. Dang. Meanwhile, she's not worried about your big back cousin who's on her third plate of food, or her big back husband who already has diabetes and is on his fourth plate of food, right? Just you, the one who's actually trying to eat healthy and take care of yourself so that you don't get sick as well. That's who she's worried about, right? The next example is the workplace feeder, right? So you're bringing your healthy lunch to work every day. You've been consistent for months. You've been seeing real results. You're looking good. You're feeling amazing. You're feeling confident about yourself. All of a sudden, Susan starts bringing donuts to every single meeting, right? And she doesn't bring them like normal. No, she has to make an entire show of it. Like, oh, guess what? I got everyone's favorite. These are so delicious. Come on, everybody has to try one. Don't be a party pooper. So when you politely decline, then she starts acting personally offended, right? And then she starts making passive aggressive comments about how much you change and how you never eat her treats anymore and how it's okay to just live a little sometimes, right? So the truth is she's not mad about the donut, right? She's mad about the willpower that you have that she herself has never had. The next example is the jealous friend. So you've been putting in a lot of effort over the past few months. You've lost a lot of weight. You're glowing, you're confident, you feel good. You've got a new wardrobe to fit your new body and you look amazing, right? Now, all of a sudden, your so-called friend who you used to bond with over eating junk food and complaining about being overweight and making fun of the skinny Pilates girlies, right? It starts to act distant and weird and passive aggressive. So now she starts to make comments like, oh, you're lucky you can just lose weight so easily. Like you can just start eating salads and the weight just falls right off of you. All the while ignoring all the hard work that you've been putting in at the gym for the past few months. Or, I don't think you're eating enough. Like, I hope you're not developing an ED, right? Like now you're just trolling me with fake concern, right? Or, remember when we used to try out all the different restaurants all the time and have fun? Implying that being healthy is no fun and that there are no fun activities to do in life that don't involve food. So this is the kind of person who was comfortable when you were overweight and struggling together, right? But now that you're succeeding, she feels left behind. And instead of being inspired and using you as motivation to lose weight as well, she's threatened by your success, right? Another example is the social media troll. So maybe you post a progress picture after months of hard work in the gym and developing healthier eating habits. You're proud of yourself and your results because you worked so hard to earn those results. And all of a sudden, here come the troll comments like, this is promoting unrealistic beauty standards, or not everyone has time to work out, or not everyone can afford healthy foods, or some of us have PCOS or thyroid issues, or you're making other women feel bad about themselves. All kinds of BS, right? First of all, your success is not a criticism or an attack on anyone else. So we're no longer able to post ourselves on our own pages and celebrate the results of our own hard work. Second of all, you existing in your healthy body is not promoting anything else except for the fact that discipline and hard work pays off, right? And that's true in any area of life, not just for weight loss and fitness. So now that we understand the psychology behind this behavior, let's talk about how to deal with these energy vampires without losing your mind or your progress, because that's what they want you to do, right? They want you to abandon your new lifestyle and gain all the weight back so that they can say, see, I told you it wasn't sustainable. I told you you wouldn't be able to keep it up. So you need to hold your boundaries, right? You don't owe anybody an explanation for your own life choices. So practice using some of these responses. I appreciate your concern, but I'm actually very happy with my choices and my lifestyle. Or, I know that things were different in the past, and this is the lifestyle that works for me now. Or, I'm not interested in discussing my food choices with you. Or, I feel happy, I feel confident, I feel amazing, and that's what matters to me. Say it with a smile, say it firmly, and then move on. Don't engage in any back and forth, and don't justify and don't explain. Just keep it moving, right? Recognize that none of this is really about you. When someone's commenting on your eating habits or your body or your lifestyle, simply remind yourself that this is their insecurity speaking, right? You're not responsible for managing anybody else's discomfort with your lifestyle choices and with your success. And if someone consistently tries to sabotage your health, undermine your goals, or make you feel bad for taking care of yourself, then they don't deserve access to you, period. Real friends and family are going to celebrate your wins and support your growth, right? So anyone who doesn't support you or who doesn't want you to be healthy or who doesn't want you to elevate yourself is showing you exactly who they really are, right? The biggest mistake that you can make is shrinking yourself down to make other people feel comfortable, right? Don't hide your success, don't apologize for your discipline, and don't pretend that you're struggling when you're actually thriving. Your success and your visibility might inspire somebody who's actually ready for change, right? And for the people who are triggered by you, those are their triggers to fix, not yours. Surround yourself with people who are actually on a growth journey themselves, right? Surround yourself with people who celebrate focus, discipline, health, fitness, and self improvement. When you're surrounded by people who actually get it, the opinions of the people who don't get it become irrelevant, right? When someone tries to troll you with their fake concern about your health, hit them with the facts, not the feelings, right? So you can say something to them like, I'm actually eating X amount of calories per day, which is perfectly healthy for my height and my activity level. Or, thanks for your concern, but I just had a physical exam and my doctor and my lab work says that I'm in excellent health. Or, I work out 4 days a week, which is actually within the recommended guidelines for health and fitness. Thank you. So, remaining calm and level headed and leading with facts shuts down fake concern real quick, right? Your discipline is not a character flaw and your health is not an inconvenience, right? Your lifestyle and your boundaries are non negotiable. When you choose the grilled chicken and the veggies, you're not judging somebody else's pizza or burger, right? When you go to the gym 4 days a week, you're not shaming the person on the couch. When you meal prep and order a salad, you're not attacking people who order fast food. You're simply focusing on yourself and your goals and making the best choices for your life and your body, period. So if that makes other people uncomfortable, if your discipline, your results, your confidence, your glow up triggers their insecurity, that's not your problem to fix. That's their problem, right? You're not obligated to remain stagnant just so other people can feel good about themselves. You're not required to fail just so other people don't feel like failures themselves. And you're not responsible for managing grown-ass adults' feelings about their own choices in their own lives, right? The truth is that your success doesn't actually take anything away from anyone else. There's enough room for everyone to thrive, right? But not everyone's ready or willing to do the work. And the people who aren't ready are going to try to convince you that doing the work isn't worth it, right? So don't listen to them. Keep showing up for yourself, keep hitting your goals, keep setting your boundaries, keep glowing, and keep thriving, because at the end of the day, the best revenge is living your best life, right? And your best response to people who try to dim your light is to shine brighter. You didn't come this far to shrink back into mediocrity because somebody else is uncomfortable with your excellence. They'll do anything but put down the fork and actually put in the work, right? Meanwhile, you're over here doing exactly what you need to be doing, so keep on going. Your health is your business, your body is your temple, and your goals are your path, period. Anybody who has a problem with that can F off and take several seats. So tell me about it. What's your craziest story about somebody trying to sabotage your health journey? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again next time.